Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we are back in another dungeon, this time a 13 ruby life balls as DPS. And I'll be completely honest, this is a dungeon that I have tried to avoid at as much as possible. It's just a dungeon that I've had some really bad experiences with, and I'm just wary of it. I don't think it's a particularly hard dungeon. I just think it's one of those that so much could go wrong so quickly, and damage is huge in this dungeon at times that it can get really, really messy. So I'm going to have to use my fire breath there, which I didn't want to do. Hoped I could carry that into the next pack, but never the mind. We get an Eternity Surge here on everything. So in the group at the moment, we have a Shadow Priest. I've joined this group with a Holy Pally I play quite a lot with, and a Monk that we both know. And we've found the tank whose key it was, and a Shadow Priest. So uh, Shadow Priest is getting a huge buff next patch. I'm expecting to see them kind of almost become meta potentially for how strong they potentially are going to be. We'll have to see. Keep an eye on that one. Monk's obviously very good at the moment. Pallies aren't the best healer by any means, but he makes it work, and we have a prot warrior and evoker. Obviously, evoker being me, but and once again, I'm getting buffed as well. So quite big changes to come, and hopefully we'll be doing quite well. So I'm going to try and not hit that other mob there. Get a full channel of that. I actually did hit it. That's really bad. Actually, wasn't intentional at all. I did actively try to. Don't want to go too far. Oof, we did it. Nice. So I'm going to try and get as many kicks as possible. I'm actually going to deep breath back over there just to stun them and reposition myself. We have pulled more. I will use my cooldown, I think, when it's up here, potentially. Yeah, we're just going to use it. I probably shouldn't use my fire breath in that case, but never mind. Get a big Eternity Surge off, and we'll use our next Tip the Scales just to help finish this pack off, if needed. Although, actually, potentially recovered. So, big fire breath here. Bang. And we get the Eternity Surge. Perfect. So, messy pull, but recovered. This isn't even the hard bit. So I'm going to have to dispel here. I'm going to try not to do it early, though. Let's go in now and do it. Someone must have it. Oh, he's there. My brain did not work for a minute. There should have been two people with squares, and I'm not sure who the other person was, but never mind. So I am a particularly big fan of this first boss, just because there's a lot of padding that goes on in there. And obviously high health ads coming in frequently is pretty good in terms of our windows of damage. But yeah, at the moment, Monk is kicking my ass on damage. I think we are actually very similar eye levels, 394, 393. So yeah, I don't know if he's got any set. He does two sets. So actually pretty much identical to me in terms of gear. So yeah, it'll be a really good competition for us to see how close we can get there. I'm going to pressing raw this just because I'm not going to use it for the next 2 minutes anyway, and at least that way we can go into the boss. So I'm going to hold my stuff here. We're going to Bloodlust here. So I'm not going to use anything for 4 seconds. It's a little bit of a waste, but we want to make sure that we are maximizing the DPS we can do, and we go into our burst window. So use my mobility, which means I can actually use my mobility to get out as well while still casting. I'm not losing any DPS there. Whelp's coming in. I'd really like to have Fire Breath for these. So we're going to try and Fire Breath with as many stacks as possible into an Eternity Surge on the boss. So we get rid of the shield and kill the ads, which is perfect there. Played that really nicely. I'm not going to be able to do that on the next one, though, unfortunately. So we could probably be stacking these considerably better, actually. I think just saying that it would be just even a little bit better is an understatement. I'm going to go over here because I'm a little bit too close. We've got whelps coming in, and I've got very little in the way of cooldowns. I have got Pyre, though, so let's get that on them. Going to stun all the ads just to try and stop them doing so much. Drop a heal. Remember, just because you are a DPS doesn't mean you can't help heal. And get the kick as soon as it's ready. So obviously using personals is a great way to help, but just throwing down an Emerald Blossom there, it heals me a lot, heals the group a lot if they stand in it. There's so much benefit to that. Like right now, I know that the Pally's going to struggle for a second because he wants to be in melee to heal. I just Verdant Embrace the tank. It's not much, but it's enough just to help out. I'm going to hold on to my Fire Breath here. I've got 16 seconds till the next Dragon Rage, and I'm expecting more ads to come through soon. So going to use my Dragon Rage now, which is obviously really nice because the boss is low health. So we're getting all of that mastery bonus, literally 78% mastery bonus, which is huge. And we finished the fight at 70k DPS. A lot. You can call it pad DPS if you really want to, but actually, them ads can be really, really annoying. So having a little bit of split DPS there isn't bad at all. Monk did 6.13 to the boss, which is mad. But yeah, we all played quite well there. And looking at the healing, 22.7k healing. Actually, my ring is doing 40% of my total healing so far, which is nice. So my priority here will be to use my Oppressing Roar on these dragons and have it up for all of the dragons because they're just annoying and the damage is quite insane. I'm not getting many procs, which is not ideal. Let's change that back to overall damage done. Oh, I actually missed my Oppressing Roar. Awesome. That's not good at all. Doesn't matter too much, luckily. So I'm not going to have cooldowns here either, but I am going to full channel a big Eternity Surge on pull. I'm probably going to save my cooldowns now for the next pack. So let's use a big Fire Breath. Again, if you get knocked up and things like that, obviously not ideal, but just throwing out a Azure Strike, things like that, just it adds up over the course of the dungeon, right? So I don't need to do anything here. I can clear in a second, but I'm going to have to use both my abilities here just to be able to dispel as well. So I think I'm going to have both of these back up for the next pack, and I'm going to pop my cooldowns and hopefully do a decent amount of damage. But yeah, so pretty nice affixes this week. I mean, Storming's a little bit frustrating, but it's not a problem, not really. All my cooldowns back up as we thought. Into a cooldown window. Trying to get kicks and stuff as well. I've actually still got aggro, which is really, really doing me head in. So I'm going to run it around the tank. Like, I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. But if I run it around the tank, hopefully his AoE will pick it up, and it did. Perfect. So overall, we are getting thrashed by the monk, but I know him to be quite a good player, and yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily sad about that. It's a really, really nice burst there, just out of nowhere. That was nice. Are we waiting for the dragon? Okay, that's fine. So once again, try a little bit harder this time, but hit my oppressive roar on him as he gets to raging, just to reduce some of the damage coming out. Next week is... I'm hoping I'm not getting hit by anything here. Nearly. Spiteful, Grievous, Fortified. So, Spiteful... It'll be the first week we've had Spiteful, and I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Grievous, obviously, now that we've had some of the nerfs come in, I'm thinking boss fights are going to be a little bit easier. Apparently I'm stood in this. Let's get that raging off as well. And obviously Fortified is the preferred week as always. So, yeah, we'll see how next week goes. I'm going to use my cooldowns again here, hoping they can clear. I'll help him, apparently. I am really liking Rescue. And now I'm getting more used to kind of its interactions and the way it works. I'm hitting some really nice rescues, which is awesome. I'm going to use my Living Flame here to get a load of Essence Burst stacks. And happy days. Even then, the monks still beat me. God damn. So I'm hoping next week we'll be doing considerably more damage. I genuinely think it's actually a huge buff, more than people are potentially thinking. I think where both of your empowered spells are now getting buffed as well, your force set is better, and or your tier in general is going to be stronger. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be good. Again, using my personal is going to drop me green Healy Circle. Apparently I've got one random ad on me. Bring it to the tank, not a problem. So this boss is a matter of control. Good movement and control. Just keeping on top of the ads, making sure, obviously, if you can kill the ads before the next one, then you can pretty much kill this boss. Everything else, even if you do 1,000 damage to the boss at a time, you can run around this whole bloody circle. So this boss isn't particularly one that I'm worried about. The last boss is the one that I am. And hopefully if the tank tanks it right, every time the dragon comes down to breathe, we can cleave it, which is kind of the ideal scenario. So here's hoping. Gonna kind of stack up a little bit there. There we go. I didn't actually mean to go that close, but unfortunately, it doesn't really work with the way our mobility works. You either go all the way or nowhere. So use my cooldowns at a pretty bad time then. I'm going to try and bait the boulder on me, which I did. The cooldown's still up, and it's run out. So big fire breath here, going to start channeling it already. It's actually not a bad boulder either. Use a cooldown there, and bang. So I'm going to stand over here, hopefully bait the boulder towards me in an ideal world. It's not quite on me, but that works. And we've got an ad in a nice spot again. So once again, full channel of the fire breath on both. That's a bad boulder, that, unfortunately. I waited for them to get in range so that the Eternity Surge hit both targets. I'm going to drop a heal here just to help out. That's not a bad boulder on me. I don't need to clear here. Actually, maybe I do. I'm going to go and clear now. There we go. We could probably just nuke boss here. Really, really clean, actually. Happy days. So still got a dot on. So what I'm going to do, use some of my mobility. Obviously, moving forward gets me there quicker, but also just throw out some essence, some living flames on the way. Get some essence burst procs. There's literally like no reason to do it. Mana's not an issue as a caster, so yeah. I did just use my fire breath and then use dragon rage, which is the wrong way, but never mind. And then I used tip the scales in completely the wrong order. So while I'm talking about good little things you can do, I'm failing all of the big things, which is not ideal, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm hoping I can keep this up into the next pack. And I can briefly. Not going to be able to keep it up with another fire breath, unfortunately. But it was actually a pretty nice continuation from me there. Hit him with a tail whip just to stop that being so bad. Going to full channel a fire breath here. Hopefully we only pull these. Perfect. We've got plenty of time here. I think a 2 chest is more than likely. I think a 3 chest is probably not going to happen. In fact, definitely not going to happen at this point. So there's no reason to risk it. We don't gain anything from it at all by playing dangerously here. If we had like 3 minutes on the time, maybe you'd risk it just to try and get to the boss. Because we have got Bloodlust, but with 1 minute, I mean, we're barely going to be started the boss in that time. That's a pretty nasty one, but it is on his own, so drop the circle as well. You'll find I use that Emerald Blossom quite a lot. It does proc your Scarlet Adaptation, so you can build up a big Living Flame for the next pack. Not a particularly good Fire Breath, but I'm going to do it anyway. And once again, use no cooldowns. So Shadow Priest is pumping a little bit here, actually. Wow. And I mean, the monk's damage is just absurd, isn't it? I suppose it's not. I don't ever really feel like, if you look at overall, I don't feel like that's. It is a massive difference, of course it is, but it's not an unobtainable difference, right? Like, it's not so big a difference that I can't play my class. And there has been times in Wales history where that's the case. So it's one of those things I try to keep in my head that actually, yes, I'm not top of the meters, but I don't necessarily need to be. I'm using my thing at the wrong time here, and I'm going to Bloodlust as the dragon comes down. So in an ideal world, I'm going to Bloodlust as soon as that dragon actually comes down properly. I wasted my cooldowns. I should have just saved them for Bloodlust, actually. I'm going to smash that. There we go. But the dragon's on 60%, which is ideal. You want to get the dragon as low as possible before you even start the next phase. And that's exactly what we're doing. I mean, the dragon's going to be near dead. Here he comes. And this is where the fight really begins. There was like a pixel there where I didn't get hit by both, and I managed to find it, which is good. Because we put enough effort into the dragon early, he's actually going to be dead before the platform gets too crowded. Although that's a lot of fire right there. This interrupt on this boss is not nice at all. I did manage to get my fire breath off there, which I'm pretty glad about. And boom! It looks like a really, really solid 13 ruby life pools. I got kicked because I suck. Solid 13 ruby life pools, 2 chests, which pretty nice. And how much score increase is that for us? We're at 1790, a 60 score increase. That's actually huge. So that should put us at 1850 now. We get no loot because, of course, not. Why do we want loot? Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and catch you later. Goodbye.